You move, you moving the live, bro.
Hey, bro, chill out, bro.
My fault. My fault.
All right, we live, y'all. All right, so welcome to the second episode of SKRILL'D Harkness. As mentioned before, this is a platform, where different perspectives come together to explore meaningful questions, topics through thoughtful conversation. The goal isn't to win win the argument. It's to challenge ideas and learn from one another in a respectful environment. So for today's conversation question, it'll be nature versus nurture. What really creates success? And so to get us started,
Started same
we're gonna
thing,
introduce
bro.
ourselves one by one and
So,
answer the question. When you think of the person you continue to become, do you believe you have been shaped more by nature or by nurture, and why?
I'll
Y'all
say
started off. Hey, my name is Kendall Young, also known as Kenyo Glide. How I know Wesley, we went to Georgia Tech as freshmen together. Yeah, so right now I'm working in roofing, sales right now, exterior home consultant. I'm in a little bit of that. So
And then the question, KY, when you think of the person you continue to become, do you believe you have been
oh,
shaped more by nature or nurture, and why? Yeah, I mean, one of y'all just, I don't think, I think his Wi-Fi lagging out.
That's fine. I'll start. Y'all, everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
all right, bro.
Well, how you guys doing today? My name is Markel Pabio, but everybody call me Kel. And I'm currently a entrepreneur slash studying industrial engineering right now. And um I have these questions right here. So to answer question number one, well,
Question number one is, when you think of the person you continue to become, do you
okay.
believe you have been shaped more by nature or nurture?
So I wanna say I'll say nurture just because um when you're in a certain environment, it exposes you to the reality of life and what could be. So I'm going to say nurture because you can have the fire, but if when you're in the right environment, you get access to certain things.
Mm,
So I always say nurture. And I
okay,
feel like it shaped me personally because I've seen some stuff in my life where I know where I don't want to go. I know where I want to go.
okay. We just move down the line with this. Whoever want to go next.
I'll go. My fault if you hear an echo. Every time somebody leaves, it kind of messes with the audio. But I'm Jalen Suing. I was here last week, and I'm an artist. I would say that nature's versus nurture. I think both go hand in hand. Like they both have an effect on like one's success or what builds them more. But I would say for my life, probably nurture because nature only goes so far. And I say I've had multiple stages of life at this point to where things have changed and not just been like where I started. So I'll say nurture.
Okay, Jaleel, you up? Or Jam, you can go. Jam.
Saying the same thing might have happened when somebody left with his audio.
Okay. Jam, you can hear me? You muted, bro. Jam, you muted, bro. Y'all can't keep leaving and joining back, bro. But I'm gonna just go on it. So like, I thought this was a good question, bro, because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand as far as nature and nurture. Like I feel like with nurture, it's kind of I feel like you can nurture someone by allowing nature to teach them. You know, like kind of just letting someone learn by their own life experiences. So it could kind of be seen as like you really need both in order to, you know, I feel like for me, just for my situation, like I've kind of been shaped by both because I grew up, off of love. I was introduced, to love from a young age, but I've also been shaped by a lot of experiences that only nature or life could teach me. So it's kind of like I'm kind of feel like I kind of land right in the middle as far as which one has shaped me the most. But if I had to choose, I'd probably choose nature for sure. And it probably just gonna be us three. This I'm gonna see if I can add them one more time. But here go Evan. What's good, Al?
Yo,
So we just going
big.
over we was going over the first question, and is when you think of a person you continue to become, do you believe you have been shaped more by nature or nurture, and why?
Mm. It's for me to answer.
Yeah, this is the first question.
I say, in terms of who I'm becoming, I would say probably nurture.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, you got to learn how to improve as you kind of grow and get older. Um, I say, like, I say your nature, like, helps you get to kind of like where you are. But then, like, if you want to keep going, you have to learn from, your experiences and what's going on. And you kind of have to be open to changing. Like if who you are is not necessarily going to keep you improving as you move forward through life, you can't stay that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in terms of becoming, I say nurturing just because you have to be able to adapt to your environment, to your situation, to the people who need you, all that type of stuff. So I say nurturing.
Okay. Jaleel, can y'all hear me? Can y'all?
Yeah, I hear y'all now. I don't. It just kicked me off the last one for some reason.
Yeah.
But what's going on, everybody? I'm Jalil. Um, I gotta say what I do, Wesley.
You don't gotta say what you do.
Okay, cool.
You can just answer the question.
But
You heard the
nature
question?
versus nurture.
Yeah.
I feel like nature can only get you so far, whether it's your physical abilities or you know your mental fortitude. But I feel like in my life, I needed both to get me to my current state where I am right now because you can only go through so much and you need those circumstances and those trials to really see what you're really made of because this life shit ain't sweet. I can't cuss, can I? My bad, bro.
You good, bro. You good. You good.
But yeah, that's really it. So I'm kind of with both. So that's really my perspective on it. So I don't really know.
Okay. Well, I feel like we got everybody, got their take on question one. So let's just move to, question two. This is the main question actually. So is nature versus nurture what really creates success? And so whoever wants to, you feel me, start it off.
I start. So um thinking about like nature versus nurture, the more I hear it, like in this conversation, even when a lot of people talking about like the trials and things that you go through in life, like that you have to overcome, and that's more of a nurture. I think the biggest benefit of like how nature shapes you for success is um like if you came from something that you want to get away from, or if you have like your nature is a goal that you have set out for you, or if it's a high standard that you were born into and you want to maintain that. I think that in terms of like success, though, you have to be adaptable. You have to like I don't know. Sometimes you have to do the hard thing, and things switch, things change as life goes on, as society advances, and so you can't just be stuck in what you once knew. Like once you were born and had that same mindset, that's how people get into like like the same cycle type thing. In order to be successful, and if we're defining success as like a long term goal that you're achieving, then you have to make adjustments and adaptations. So I think nurture is more important for success, but I still think that nature, I think nurture is still more important for success, but I think that nature is still like prevalent and adamant in a lot of people's stories.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go next. Honestly, it's definitely a big combination, but nurture, I'm gonna say that of course. But I see it as like a seed. You know, when you're growing, you plant the seed, and that seed is our nature, whatever we have inside of us, and only through the watering we can properly germinate. You know, water, sunlight, and all this. That's all nature just growing us. And even when we're plants, we start breaking the soil, we start changing and morphing into eventually the fruit. I mean, the tree that can bear fruit or whatnot.
Mhm.
So ultimately, it's always going to be nature deep down inside.
I feel like just me. I mean, it also falls down to like what you define success as. You feel me? Like a lot of people have different like definitions of success. It could be just like how you feel about yourself. Like if you wake up feeling like you feel great every day, that's a success. You feel me? Or you know your business is booming, that's a success. Or you know like your accomplishments in any sport you in, like that's a success. And just me going off my background with sports, I feel like I always like just with the coaches, the players that the coaches trusted the most naturally, they they allowed them to learn naturally, which is kind of nurturing, you know. So like, have you ever heard of where like coach didn't get on him, but he got on me, you feel me, when I did made the same mistake. But it's like when you are trying, when you see that someone is, you know, built for, you know, a certain level of play, you know, or however you would call it, well then you're gonna, you know, coach them a different way, you feel me, because they can actually learn from their mistakes and you trust them to learn from their mistakes. So I feel like nurturing kind of, this kind of goes back to what I was saying in the first question. I feel like they go hand in hand, because nurturing isn't always just a hands-on thing where, you know, you're babying someone, or you're like just giving handouts to someone. Sometimes nurturing could be, I'm allowing this person to figure it out by themselves without giving them negative emotions, putting negative emotions on them, putting negative feedback on them. I'm allowing them to learn through their mistakes on their own. I feel like that could be considered nurturing as well. What you think?
I was gonna say something like that. Like when you like going back to sports, like if you're getting recruited, like a coach is going to look for what qualities you have in yourself, like naturally, to see if you're gonna fit like the program. Where like the program will nurture you. Like they'll you know, every program got their thing that they trying to, you know, get across, or that, you know, the mindset. But like if the player doesn't have a certain sort of quality or a certain sort of like mindset before they get there, they're not gonna recruit them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I
Yeah.
feel like your nature plays like a big part, kind of like what I said earlier, like in getting to the place, like and getting through the door. But like once you get through the door, it's like nurturing, like
Hmm.
how well you can be coachable, how well you can learn, you know, the playbook, like how well you can take what you already do and make it work for the team to win. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in terms of success, like it kind of what everybody else saying, kind of it's sort of both, but it's kind of different reasons, different times to use like a certain skill set, I guess.
Y'all think we could? Is there any other example where like you feel like that falls in line other than like sports?
Um, I was gonna say
Yeah,
nature is kind of like what Evan said, like kind of like that starting point. And I think the only example of like nature being more prevalent or more important in terms of getting to a goal or having success is if you're like a nepo baby and like you started off at the top with this amount of success. Obviously, then your nature is kind of the starting point, and so that's going to be what grants you your success if money is your success. But if you want, even if you're rich, you might not consider yourself successful if you haven't conquered your goals. So I do think that there's not an easy way, even being like natured and you have your success, then there's no way to get from A to B without going through that line that connects the two. And so through that line, you have to, like you guys said, gave sports examples like um, coach or like a teacher teaches you, or like your parents kind of guide you through life a little bit. Yes, you're making decisions. Yes, they have a certain nature, I guess, about them. Like they're nurturing you, but I guess in terms of this conversation, nature is more like where you come from type thing and like where you started out. So they're kind of your nature, but at the end of the day, like no teacher can make you successful. They can help you, they can nurture you to do it, but like that's what it takes. It takes that nurturing.
Kel, was you about to say something?
I was just thinking about when you said how you grew up with a lot of love. So I'm just thinking about the idea of like you have a kid or anybody under you, you just like you can essentially nature somebody's their mindset from a young age. You just start planting these seeds in these kids because, like you
Mhm.
said, like you get a recruiter or not. Like your nature can be like, oh yeah, I've been taught to work hard with everything. Like your mindset is shaped at a super early age, and that can play into everything else. So you have a mindset of I'm always learning. I can learn from my mistakes. I can continuously grow. I think that definitely changes your well, no matter what your environment will be at that point, it doesn't matter. Like if you already have that innate sense of okay, success, success, success. No matter where you are, you're eventually going to get to a point where you're gonna break through and make progress regardless where you're at.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. And that's I mean, I feel like it's good that you brought up just like as a kid, you feel me? The seeds are planted. It starts right then. You feel me? Everything they seeing, everything they hear is like starting right there. And that just goes straight into question 3. It says if you could give a child one advantage in life, what would it be and why?
The advantage I'll give a kid, just the ability to not be scared of taking risk, or take calculated risk to be exact. Just because, you know, a lot of us we hold ourselves back because we feel like we have so much to lose. And this is not even started at a point where like you have something to lose at the end of the game, when you already gathered all these materials, but at the beginning, we feel like we have something to lose, but it's like we don't. And the advantage I give a kid is just knowing, hey, there's nothing to lose. Take the best risk because from those risks, you're gonna learn. Whether you succeed or fail, you're gonna learn something, and you can just snowball it, just keep learning.
How about you, son?
Yeah, so this one has me thinking a little bit, like, because my last whole point was yes, nurture like is gonna get you more success, in my opinion, but like nature is so important in terms of like a starting point. So when you ask, like, which would I give like somebody,
Yeah, like what
I
advantage
almost wanted to
to give
say
like
like I
an advantage.
want to give like my children, I want to give them like I want the nature for their like success to be easier. So I want to, be successful myself and then put them at a certain starting point. And that's what I define as the nature in this example. And so I almost wanted to say that, but what's even more important is if I could like give, like you phrase the question, like if I could give them like one or the other, I would probably say like a nurturing, or I would hope for a nurturing environment and for them to have a spirit of, wanting to adapt and get to their goal. But I almost did say nature because that is a goal I think for a lot of us is to get like our children, if you want to have kids, you want to be at a certain starting point that you didn't start at. And so that kind of helps generations. Like you want to keep moving up, not the opposite. And so that is important as well. Like nature is still important for that.
So like what? So would you say like the characteristic you would give them is like adaptability? Is that what you're getting at?
Adaptability. What's a better word for like just being able to conquer what's ahead of you?
I was gonna say like mental toughness. I feel like that's kind of the same sort of like
Like perseverance.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mental
You'll never know.
fortitude.
Um,
What about you, Ed?
I probably say like from like a from like a spiritual like mental standpoint, I'd probably say like a mental toughness or like being optimistic when things don't always look good. I guess that's kind of mental toughness too. Like being able to still like think clearly no matter
Like
what.
grit.
Yeah, like in the highs and the lows. Cause like when stuff go good,
Resilience.
you still got to lock in too. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So
Cause you
like
can't fold. You can't blow it if you do start winning. But then if you losing, you got to somehow figure out a way to win. So like I think in life you're gonna experience both of those. You're gonna experience all of it. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta learn how to like keep your head steady to
Do
make
you
the
feel?
right decision through it all. I think like physically though, like money. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, why like in this world, money make things happen. So it's easier when you got some money to give or some sort of ownership.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people talk about like real estate and stuff. It ain't necessarily got to be real estate in my eyes, but ownership to some degree, whether it's a business or land or a house, even some
Yeah.
asset.
Now that make perfect sense because I was gonna say kind of like the same. I was gonna say opportunity. You feel
Yeah,
me? Just because, like, with opportunity, you can succeed, you can learn. You feel me? But like, I feel like it also matters about like that the character behind that opportunity. You feel me? Because I mean, if you have opportunity and fail, what are you falling back on? What character? Like if you like don't have any self discipline, like self awareness or like character of knowing who you are. I mean, that could hurt you. But like as far as like what advantage I would want to give it would fall along with what you just said, Evan. Like you said, money. I feel like that goes right along with opportunity. You feel me? Giving them the opportunity to learn and to succeed. I feel like that's half of the battle in itself. It's so many people that probably you know felt like they could be or could have been somewhere else in life, but they feel like they didn't have the right opportunity. And some could say it's an excuse. Some could say that's just the brutal, honest truth. And sometimes it is the brutal, honest truth that like other people didn't get opportunities to, you feel me, expound upon their abilities. But that's really just like the unfair parts of life for real. So I agree with you on that, Evan, for real. Jaleel, you wanted to go? What you think on this?
Really and truly, I mean, nature in a way. I mean, it's either anywhere, it's not. But as everyone else has stated, like you just got to be able to adapt, and evolution, is something you just can't escape. So I would say I want my children to. I mean, you know, I'm
You give them one
gonna
advantage,
have to go with nurture.
nurture.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with nurture because it's gonna be in them because it was in me.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, you just got to keep going, and you can't stay the same in life. You got to find something to constantly improve on and get better. Because if not, it's just not gonna work out. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to say. Nurture.
yep. All right, that's all y'all? That's all you got? Anything else y'all wanted to add on? You good, son?
Yeah, last time I was gonna say like we were a lot. Sorry, we were a lot like agreeing on a lot of the same things. But one thing you said that was like opportunity is good because, like you said, not everybody gets the same opportunities because life ain't fair. So if you can give somebody an opportunity and then you compare that with the resilience that we were just talking about, then opportunity. What's that saying go? It's like opportunity plus readiness equals success or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good one to end it on. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming to the second episode for real. Appreciate it, Kel. Appreciate it, Evan. Appreciate it, Jaleel, for sure.
Yep.
sure. Good to meet all y'all.
Yeah,
All right. Have a great day.
Appreciate y'all.
yeah, y'all
Sure.
too.
Too, bro.